What is good, everybody? We're back here with a live stream. Uh, it's been quite a long time. It's been a couple weeks. I know it's felt like days, but it's actually been a couple weeks. We've had a lot of stuff go on ever since I was live last time, but we're back here with a chill stream. But in terms of weather, we do have a pretty large slight risk for severe weather stretching from parts of the northeast all the way down to parts of the deep south. So, a very large risk for severe weather in place for today and going into tonight. We do have a elevated threat, or two areas of an elevated threat for tornadoes. One in the Mississippi and Alabama, and another one up in the Mid Atlantic and going into the Delmarva area. Excuse me. What's up, Carl? Welcome to the stream. Um, so, what's up, Philly? Welcome to the stream. It's just saying what's up. Crazy. Oh yeah, Bama. Oh yeah, he threw up like 83 points or something like that. That is actually crazy. I think he scored like 42 shots, um, something like that. Wow, 36 out of 43 for free throw. Excuse me. Yeah, that I'm not I'm not shocked at all. For that being the record, but for him doing that, that's crazy. That's actually kind of crazy. I can't even lie. 83 points though. That is something. Uh, but last night we did have quite an eventful tornado event take place last night. Unfortunately, I did not go live, but I did give some updates leading up to the event. Um, so yeah, that yesterday was pretty crazy. Uh, Lake Village, especially the south side of Lake Village, um, near Kankakee, that's where it all started. And then the warm front rider just basically did its own thing. Um, Produced tornadoes. I'm curious to see what kind of rating this tornado might get when it impacted the south side of Lake Village, because there was some pretty intense damage. I don't know. I'm not gonna go out here and rate by like pre-rate and everything, but based off of what I've seen, I'd have. I mean, there were a few homes that were really damaged or destroyed. So I'd probably have to go EF low end EF3 maybe. Um, I mean, some of these homes out here were not really well built, but there were a lot of mobile homes out here, especially near the subdivision on the south side of Lake Village. But I'd probably say 150, 130, or not 130, 145, 150 max. Uh, I don't think it was violent, but I mean, it could have had violent wind speeds, no doubt. It's just a matter of damage, because that's what our EF skill is relied on, is damage, not the wind speeds itself from the tornado. What's up, Indiana? Welcome to the stream. But if you guys are just tuning in, we're just yapping here, yapping about last night and how crazy it was. Not only the tornado threat was crazy, but we did also have some pretty large hail. We're talking gorilla sized hail out here in parts of Illinois and Texas. Texas performed very well with that hail threat down there. Uh, wow. Yeah. And this was a very widespread severe weather outbreak, no doubt, stretching from Texas all the way to even Michigan. That is a very large area. Yeah, I have it pulled up right now. Literally. I have it on radar. I do have. Yeah, we did, Roman. for do you think we'll get a 6-3 this year for tornadoes? Considering the fact that long term, especially April or May, might be a little bit below average for tornadoes, I do think there's an opportunity as we go into early April, but we're gonna have ridging come back into the picture. Essentially, that's gonna limit any severe weather potential, or at least organized severe weather potential, to take place across the majority of the United States. So the pattern that we're in right now, we're gonna be switching that. We're gonna be switching gears to a much quieter but a little bit cooler pattern here for the United States, most of the United States at least. We still might see some marginal severe weather events here or there in next week after today, but the majority of next week is just going to be quiet in terms of severe weather. But I've actually been looking at long range. I've been looking at the GEFS ensembles. I mean, of course, you're not going to take that into a. I mean, of course, you're going to have to look at it, but you're not going to really say, yeah, that's going to happen, because you know it's going to be far out. But the general thinking, I think, or we all think, I guess. I don't know who has been looking at it, but we're going to look at the 12Z, and we're going to look at the 500 millibar wind speeds, or the mean, or simply all the GEFS individual ensembles put onto one model run. So we're going to have this ridging take place here going into next week, and that's actually going to limit any severe weather potential, like I said, from occurring. But I do think as we go into very late March and maybe into early April, I do think severe weather will probably return. But we'll see what happens. We can't look too far ahead of ourselves. So I'm curious what the GFS shows. The 12Z run did show troughing coming back into the picture here. That ridge is breaking down, it moves east, and then we're going to have another trough come in off the Rocky Mountains, and that could lead to some severe weather returning to the Central Plains. But this is going to be late March, so this is going to be a little too far out to actually really say for sure. But for now, we're going to be seeing a lot of ridging take place across the majority of the United States, which is certainly some good news if you don't want severe weather. So I'll get to everybody's questions here. Though it's expected to be below average here in prime tornado season in April, we could still see have a major tornado day at some point. Yeah, no doubt. It is tornado season after all. So, you know, you can't rule out a major tornado outbreak here or there, but the majority of those months should be slightly below average when it comes to tornado season. I think we are in a neutral right now, and we're going to be switching to a La Nina here in, what is it, late May? Oh, really? Wait, we were in a La Nina. We were in a La Nina, but we're now in a neutral, and then we're, okay. Okay. I knew we were in a neutral. I kind of had those swapped, but there's going to be massive high pressure. Yeah, a massive high pressure system. A lot of... But for tonight, though, let's actually take a look at radar here, because we do have some storms. I've been looking at archive. We do have a... what is this? Is this a considerable? It is not. No, we don't. I don't even think we have any considerables. No, we do not. Just make sure we don't have any in Mississippi or Alabama or even uh, Louisiana. Can we please take a look here? 60-mile-per-hour winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Okay. So we don't have any considerables right now, so that's good news. Just a lot of general severe thunderstorm warnings here. I do think we're gonna have a increase in our tornado threat later tonight for Mississippi and Alabama. We're gonna have increasing wind shear, and any leftover cape that's gonna be out here. We have a really large storm here, just ingesting all these mergers right now near Butte, Mississippi. Does that sound familiar? But what's up, Sanjay? Welcome to the stream. How are you today? I'm doing pretty good. Oh, Indiana actually said in chat, I think we're switching to an El Nino. Yeah, we are. Okay. You did say that, Roman. I do think June will be active. I do think June will be active for severe weather. Yeah, we're slowly switching to an El Nino. Slowly but surely. It's been a while. It has been a while, actually. It's been a couple weeks. But I'm just looking at radar right now, see what I can find. See if I could spot anything convincing. Oh my days. Yeah, if this actually does come to wrap up here, if all these mergers just completely and like if this large like storm just ingests all these mergers and this like kind of wraps up a little bit, we could be talking about a somewhat of a problem in our hands. But thankfully that is at a halt, as we do have a lot of mergers just inhibiting the tornado potential. I did take a look at soundings that I heard earlier today, or not earlier, but about 2 hours ago. We did have some wind shear. We don't have a lot, but that's going to be increasing later into tonight. Yeah, we did get a new tornado watch, actually. Oh, yeah, we got a new tornado watch. A couple of tornadoes possible. Scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely. Isolated large hail events to 1 inch in diameter possible. So somewhat of a low-end tornado watch. Let's see what probabilities are. I'm going to say 50-20. 40-20, actually. So somewhat of a low-end tornado watch. Actually, that is a low-end tornado watch. We might get a late peak tornado season. And July is when you have derechos pop out of nowhere. Yeah, man. Almost slipped off of my desk. 850. Okay, so you do have a my goodness, that 500 millibar is crazy. 60 knots. What's the 850 look like? 30 knots. Yeah, your storms have some forcing down here, which is why they're probably going upscale a little bit. Which is why we're seeing somewhat of a messy mode right now. But as you get towards Mississippi, especially in eastern Mississippi, we have a little bit less forcing. Although I do expect that to increase as this trough moves eastward or northeastward to tonight. But it's all going to come down to storm mode. If we can get an established storm, a discrete storm, or somewhat of a discrete storm, we could be talking about possibly a strong tornado, as the SPC has a SIG 1 5% tornado risk out here in place. It seems like We've been getting a lot of those recently. A lot of these sig risks. I mean, I wouldn't doubt them. We've been having a lot of strong tornadoes recently. A lot of them, actually. Yeah, March is starting off hot. I do expect that to. I do expect that to slow down, though. As I was talking about that ridging earlier. What's up, Sydney? Welcome to the stream. I'm almost at 3K. Let's go. I do actually want to take a sounding in south central Mississippi. We do have capping building in, but I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. It's around 50 sin, so not too big of a problem. Our photographs are slightly wonky there, which is why our wind shear is a little bit weak. Or that is leading to the wind shear being weak, I should say. Holy tongue. As you get closer to that boundary there, hold on. Can I actually do something here? Hold on. Let's see what wind shear, surface to 1. Okay. Our wind shear is increasing actually right now. We're sitting at 150, 0 to 1 kilometer SRH, which is enough for tornadic potential. Cape, we're sitting at, or at least surface-based Cape, we're sitting at 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram of surface-based instability, which is enough for these storms. Let's take a look at radar again. Yeah, this is a massive storm. Oh, I think this is contaminated somewhat, but I do think. Fun fact: we've only seen 4 95 maxed out tornado probs in a tornado watch. April 27th, 2011, May 20th, 2019, March 25th, 2021, and March 15th, 2025. One of those dates severely, nearly busted. Severely underperformed and nearly busted. I want you guys to take a guess. March 25th, 2021. That high risk, that 45 sig. My goodness. Holy underperformance. I'm not going to say bust because we did have some strong tornadoes. But what I consider a bust is when we have like no tornadoes occur in the area. Like no tornadoes occur in the risk area. That's what I can consider a bust. A underperformance is when we don't meet the expectations. For instance, we might see a few strong tornadoes, but we did have a few strong tornadoes that day, a few EF2s, but that's what I call a severe underperformance. Because that was a high risk. That was a 45 sig. It is often very rare to get those. It's been a while since we had one. It's been exactly, I think 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. Yeah, this is heavily contaminated near Butte. But we're starting to see some storms fire up near Hattiesburg, or Hattiesburg, whatever you want to call it, there in Mississippi. Our low-level shear is increasing, and we're starting to see some little itty-bitty mesos trying to pop up on these little guys down here in Mississippi. March 25th did have 2 tornado emergencies. Oh, really? I actually didn't know that. I started tracking severe weather right around 2019, but I didn't really know a whole lot back then. I didn't know what Cape was. I didn't know what wind shear was. I was just looking at radar. I was just, and but oh, March 20. Oh, yeah, you're right. Indiana, you're right. March 17th was Dude, March of 2021 was really active. Didn't we have two high risks in March of 2021? Yeah, we did. I think we had March 17th. I don't know about March 25th. I forgot about March 25th, but March 17th was memorable for its SPC outlook, not essentially of what has occurred on March 17th. Well, we have this alpha boundary extending out in front of these storms. So essentially, these storms are ingesting cool air instead of warm air, which is going to choke off any tornado potential. So, tornado threat at a halt now for at least Alabama or Mississippi, excuse me. But southwestern Mississippi really does have my attention. This massive, talking massive storm, all these mergers are really ingesting into this one big storm. I'm curious as to what this is going to do after these mergers clear out. The storm clears its inflow out, even if it does. Still yet to be determined, but we're just watching radar here. I'm going to pull up the Mobile radar and see what I can see here. Yeah, we do have some mesos trying to pop up, especially one over Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But, yeah, so. March 15th underperformed, but it only barely, just because it was a high risk. It still performed like a moderate with a violent tornado and two intense ones, so barely underperformed. Yeah, I do agree. I do think a lot of these velocities are contaminated here. I'll show y'all. I do think a lot of these velocities are contaminated. You can see the contamination very well. Very well, but I do think there's some rotation in here. I wouldn't even doubt it, especially with this little one here near Gloucester. You could see there's some rotation with it. But a lot of this is contaminated. So let me pull up the Lake Charles radar and see if we could see some upper level meso here. Nope, too far. What about this radar? Alexandria. Or was that the radar I had? No, it wasn't. But let's go back up in here and near Baltimore. Didn't want to click that. Thank you very much. Yeah, just some gusty winds. Maybe some rotation near Elkton here in northeastern Maryland. You can see that little hook impingement here. Trying to hook out there. But that's a little too far south, actually. Right there. Near Elkton. See if we can see a terminal. Not really. Flash flood warning there in southeastern Ohio. Or southwestern, excuse me. It's hard to say that something overperformed a 45 SIGRIS, but April 27, 2011 did that. I can certainly agree with you on that. I can agree with that statement there, Indiana. I mean, April 27th could have verified a 60 sig. No troll. No troll. It's hard to compare April 27, 2011 to any other outbreak. You just can't. You can't compare any other outbreak to April 27th. The only outbreak you could compare is the 1974 super outbreak. That's the only outbreak you could probably compare April 27, 2011 to. Besides April 3rd, 1974. Yeah. Besides April 3rd, 1974. Yep. See some upper level mesos trying to develop here on these storms in Mississippi. Here, Hattiesburg. What's this one doing? I can't even see range folding. Ooh, what do we got here, guys? Ooh, hold on. Do you have a little hook trying to pop out here? But I wouldn't be too stressed out over that, as it is a little bit far from the radar, so what we could be seeing in the lower levels might be a little bit weaker. Because we do have a lot of upper level wind shear out here, indicating the radar presentation on these velocities. Oh my goodness, can we, like, not get too contaminated out here? I honestly just want to see what this storm's doing. I don't know if it's just this radar app, but I do need to look at weather-wise. Well, I guess we're back. I don't need to do all that. I forgot I was live. Oh, man. That just goes to show how long I have not been live. But I think we're back here. I think we're back. Are we back, guys? Hopefully we're back.